What's going on, everybody? My name's LUCK, aka Luck, and welcome to episode 2 of my Mod Mastery Immersive Engineering series. Last episode, we worked on getting a coke oven up and running, and we also planted a bunch of hemp, right? And now that our hemp crop is grown, we can harvest it all, which this is super fun to harvest because you just get to smack the tops of them, just like so. It does get a little frustrating having to run through all the crops to get the drops. If you're going to use immersive engineering, a magnet is very helpful. But yeah, we're on our way to getting more and more of those fibers. So number one, the crops grew, right? Number two, I let this run through some coal, right? We got a whole bunch of coal coke. We got a whole bunch of creosote oil. We're pretty good to go right now. So in this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to get the next pretty essential thing up and going, and that's a blast furnace. Like I said, in this mod, you're going to use a ton of steel, especially for the machinery, right? A lot of these parts are made out of steel, right? So we need a lot of steel. So we're going to work on that first today. Let's go ahead and grab out of our chest here our handy dandy magma blocks and nether bricks. And let's go ahead and get some clay balls, right? Because we got to cook some of these guys up. So the other thing that we're going to do today, is we're going to work on getting a water wheel up. Water wheels are super cool. Like I said in the last episode, they're just passive power generation, which is cool. So while those are cooking up, let's take a look at what's involved in a water wheel. So we are going to need some of those steel ingots, right? So we do have to get the blast furnace up and running first, but we need some of these. We need water wheel segments. And these each are going to take 4 treated sticks, which I forget. Yeah, so you get 4, right? So we're going to need all of those. Right? Let's go ahead. I don't know if you could use logs, right? No, you have to use the planks. So we're just going to get a whole bunch of these treated planks. This can be semi-annoying because you have to keep refilling the bucket. So what I'm going to do off camera real quick, we're going to turn all of these planks into treated planks, and we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so 1.5 stacks of treated wood planks should be good for right now. And let's take a look at our furnace. All of our bricks seem to be done. Very cool. So what we're going to look for is blast furnace. Now, pretty quickly, we're going to want to upgrade to the reinforced blast furnace, right? It's just a lot better. It's faster, right? So we're going to put this guy right here. This goes in the same kind of design as the coke oven. So we'll plop you guys down right here. Awesome. And this is usually how I do my setup. I like to stick the back of the furnaces out of the wall so that it's nice and flush to the wall. And then we just take our hammer and smack the front. Boom. There we go. Blast furnace. Now how this guy works is we have to take some iron, right? And you put iron in, right? Now each one coal coke will make 1 steel, right? So that means that like 3, 4 pieces of regular coal will make 1 steel. So we'll go ahead and throw our coal coke in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just have to wait on some steel. Let's go take a look at our crops. I doubt that any have grown. Oh no, a whole bunch have grown. Very cool. One thing that I noticed when I was editing my other video, I usually play with an FOV, and this time I am not. So we're going to put the FOV up a little bit because I feel like I'm moving really, really sluggish. And part of that is that FOV. So I hope that doesn't bother anybody that I set that up there. But yeah, so we're just going to wait on our piece of steel. And then we'll be back when it's done. All right, guys, and done. Very cool. So we got a steel ingot. This thing also produces slag, and I'll show you guys how to use that later. It's not super useful, but I'll show you guys how to use it later. So now we just take our sticks like this, right? And I believe, yeah, something a little bit like that. Very cool. And then we can take our water wheel segments and we can put them like so. And we get a water wheel. Awesome. Now where should this guy live? I mean, I guess we could put it right on the outside of the wall here for now. I don't see why that would be a problem, right? We might want to move it later on, especially once you start adding more and more wheels. But we'll put it out here for now. And anybody who's played either this mod or like Create, you guys know exactly what this is all about. We'll throw. Okay, we might need to clear out some more space. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's get like that. And let's get like that. Now I don't know if they did the same kind of thing with Immersive Engineering that Create has done recently, where it doesn't matter how many water blocks you have on it, right? It'll always run the same speed. I'm not sure, but we can certainly test it out. So let's just do a little bit of something like this, right? Now I don't know if that water's just gonna fly out of there, but we can try. So let's see. Okay, nope. Alright, so you are turning, which is cool. Not exactly the way that I want you to be turning, though. What if we... What if we put you there, right? So now you're turning that way. Okay. Now, like I said, I don't know if it really matters. Like how many sides of the water wheel have water on them. I mean, I guess let's take a look in the engineer's manual and see if it explains it better. So let's see. That would be under power, maybe, right? Nope. All right, so we found the page on the water wheel. The water wheel is a fairly easy way of powering a dynamo. Its turning speed is based on the water flowing around it. So for optimal results, you'll want to direct the water in a semicircle from the top down, one side, and along the bottom. Up to 3 water wheels can be placed against each other. Okay. So what it's saying is we're going to want a bucket of water there, right? So that'll start turning that. So it does not have that same kind of functionality that Create does, where you can have just one block of water. I really liked that Create did that. I really hope that more mods start adopting that mindset, right? So if we put you there, will you do that? Let's find out. There we go. There we go. Now he's cooking. All right, awesome. So we got the water wheel spinning. Let's head back inside because the next thing that we need to do is we need a dynamo, right? So this guy's spinning, cool. Let's take a look at what's involved with a dynamo, and we should get some more iron. I don't know if you could stick just raw iron in here. No, it's got to be an iron bar. So let's do a little bit like this, right? Let's get some iron cooking up so we can get some more steel cooking. And then let's take a look at what's involved in a dynamo. So these things are cool. These guys, you're actually going to use these a lot. You use them for both the water wheels and the windmills. Okay, so we need a copper coil block, which requires this kind of setup. So we need copper, which I don't actually have any cooked up. Very cool. I'm super prepared. Let's get another couple sets of furnaces here. And awesome. And then let's grab some more coal. We'll just get all this stuff cooking up here. Very cool. And then we're going to need one of these iron mechanical components, which also requires copper. It requires some iron plates, right? Which we can actually get those right now. So we're going to put 4 of you guys in here. And when you do actually use the hammer to create plates, it does use durability on the hammer, so just be mindful of that. And we will create one of these iron mechanical components. Nice. Then let's go ahead and look at making one of these copper coil blocks. So we're going to need a pair of engineer's wire cutters, right? These are pretty simple, just like that. Nice. And then we need this. So we're going to need to do this twice, right? We need 8. I think we need 8 total. Let's see if my math is mathing. Oh, we need to pound them into plates first. And then we need to cut them into wire. Nice. And then where is the wood? Cool. And then something like this, right? And then, was it just iron in the middle? Yes, perfect. Very cool. Now, let's take a look at the... Oh, we're going to need some more iron, and we do need a couple pieces of redstone, and then we can get ourselves a kinetic dynamo. There we go. Very cool, very cool. Can you spin with the hammer? I forget. You can. I just forget. Yeah, I think it's like that. Okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the... Okay. So we're going to want to do that and like that. Okay, cool. So now this water wheel should be creating energy, but we need a couple more things before we get there. So let's look at the engineer's manual. And we're going to want to look at basic wiring, right? The energy net of Immersive Engineering has 4 important blocks: connectors as inputs and outputs for the net, relays to connect wires together, and transformers to switch between different levels of wire. To connect 2 blocks, simply click the first one with a wire coil and use the same coil on the second block. The total transfer rate between the 2 points depends on the weakest type of wire between them. Note that restrictions apply based on blocks. Connectors and relays will only take wires of the same type that is already connected. Transformers will only take 2 wires of different types, and wires can only connect to blocks that match the voltage. So this mod does have like different voltages, and if you use the wrong voltages, you will mess up your machines. There are 2 important values to note about wiring. Each connector has an input value, 256, 1024, 40, 96, and each wire has a maximum transfer rate, 2048, 8192, 32768. The connector limits how much power can be in and output, but multiple connectors can unify into a single wire, allowing you to combine the transfer over longer ranges. Note, however, that the maximum transfer rate of the wire must not be exceeded, or else the wire will burn up. Wires will transfer energy even through unloaded chunks, as long as the input and output chunks are loaded. Insulated wires connected to an energy source will cause damage to players and mobs too close to them. Or uninsulated wires. Insulated wires are available for low and medium voltage. Sneaking when using the pick block function on a connector will pick the connector wire from your inventory. Wire connections will break if a block obstructing the wire is placed. So this is how we make the LV wire connector. And, oh, so that's a transform. We don't need that yet. We actually want... Yeah, we'll get to it. It's the relay that I'm looking to create. So let's go ahead. We need to make some terracotta, right? I know I'm wasting coal here. Forgive me. And we'll go ahead and get some more iron going in the blast furnace. Let's keep... keep 16 iron on us just to have, right? And then let's take a look at connectors and relays. So connectors, these guys, and there's 3 different levels. There's LV, MV, and HV. It stands for low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage, right? This is for refined storage. It's just a mod that I added to the pack because I thought it would be cool to run refined storage wires using immersive engineering, but that's way down the line. So LV wire connectors, this is what we're kind of looking for right now. These guys actually connect 2 blocks that can input and output energy, right? And you'll understand what I mean in a second, right? So right now, this guy would be outputting energy if I had it connected to something else, okay? Now what relays do is you can connect multiple wires to a relay, right? Or just string it along so it goes further, right? So let me demonstrate this. So if I grab my, let's get another set of wire coils here. And I'll demonstrate what they mean by the wires hurt you. So right here, if I click on this with this, and I click on this with here, right? Now we have a wire running between them, and there's actual power going through this. It should hurt me if I jump into it. Yep. So there is power going through it. And just to get rid of the wire, you just break one of the connection points, right? The next thing we need to do is we need a way to store our power, right? So let's look at accumulators. These are the batteries of the mod, right? And they're pretty cool. LV accumulator, because we're still in LV right now, so we're dealing with LV, right? We're gonna need a little bit of lead, so let's get like 8 pieces of lead cooking up, and we're gonna need some of that redstone acid, which is what I was telling you guys before, or I think last episode I was telling you. It does become important later, and just so if anybody's curious, the world is on peaceful. Just like my Ember series, I just don't want to deal with mobs while I'm trying to explain things. We save the mobbing for my regular Let's Play. So we'll do this, and we should get a bucket of redstone acid. Very cool. And then if we grab our pieces of lead, and we smack them down into plates, we should be able to grab an accumulator. Very cool. Now these guys are pretty cool, like I said. Number 1, their sides are completely configurable, right? So if we take our engineer's hammer, right, when you can click on the side and you can change it to input, output, and no connection, right? So now, like I said, anything that needs an input or needs to output energy, they need a connector, right? So if we put a connector right here, we should be able to start getting some power. Now I don't have one probe installed. I honestly should install it. Let me do that real quick. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so now that I have the one probe installed, you'll see in the upper left hand corner, I just look at something and it tells me everything about the block that I need to know. But now if I look at this, we can see that we're actually generating power from that water wheel. Now it's not a ton, but you can get a lot of water wheels set up and do a lot of passive generation for basically nothing, right? Very little work. Now, like I was saying, you can change the input and output on each of these sides. So like if I wanted to output power somewhere else in the base, right? I could set up a connector there because, like I said, it does need a connector. And what I like to do is I like to... Let me move that down one just for... I probably will have it up that high when I go to actually set these up, right? But what I like to do is I would put like a string of power all along the top part. That way, we can power anything that we need at any point, right? I also like to put in multiple accumulators because they will balance out if you set them up correctly. And it's always nice to just have the extra power. But yeah, guys, so I think we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to call it an episode. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please hit that subscribe button. We got a good amount done here. We got some steel cooking up. We got a water wheel going. We got some power generation. Next episode, when we come back, we'll be ready to start messing around with some machines, right? We'll get some early game machines, and we'll start building some cool stuff, and you guys will start seeing why I like this mod so much. But yeah, guys, so if you guys, like I said, if you enjoyed the episode, please hit that subscribe button. We're getting so close to 250. It would be awesome if you guys hit that subscribe button. You guys are the bomb. You guys have been killing it on the videos lately. So I already feel bad asking, but yeah. So yeah, until next time, guys, I will catch you all later. See ya.